On this video, we're going to factor completely. So you have x cubed plus 10x squared plus 24x. When you want to factor completely, you always want to factor out greatest common factor. In this case, it will be x. So when you take out x, you got x squared plus 5x plus 24. Now notice, this is a trinomial, and you could factor this out. So what are the factors of 24 when you add them up? You get 5. I'm sorry, this should be 10. So what are the factors of 24 when you add them up? You get 10. That should be 6 and 4. So it's going to be x times x plus 6 and x plus 4. So that is how you factor completely. Let's take a look at this example. 5x to the 6 minus 125 x to the 4. What is the greatest common factor? It's 5x to the 4, and you're left with x squared minus 25. Now we could still factor x squared minus 25 because that's a difference of squares. So you get 5x to the 4 quantity x plus 5 times x minus 5. And that is your answer. What about when you have 6x squared minus 24x plus 24? Again, the greatest common factor is going to be 6. And then you're left with x squared minus 4x plus 4. And we could still factor this out. This will be x minus 2 times x minus 2. And we have two of the same thing. So we could write it as 6 quantity x minus 2 squared. Now we have negative 16x to the 5th minus 250x squared. What is GCF? Well, let's take out negative 2x squared. And what do we get? 8x cubed plus 125. Now notice, this is sum of cubes because you could rewrite it as quantity 2x to the 3rd plus quantity 5 cubed. So this a becomes 2x and b is 5. Do you remember a cubed plus b cubed is the same thing as quantity a plus b times quantity a squared minus ab plus b squared. So what we got to do, we got to plug it in. It's going to be 2x plus 5 times quantity. What is a squared? That's 2x times 2x, which is going to be 4x squared minus a times b, which is 10x, plus b squared, 25. So we got negative 2x squared times 2x plus 5 times 4x squared minus 10x plus 25. And that's your final answer. And we have x cubed minus 2x squared minus 9x plus 18. Now we have 4 terms. So what we're going to try is we're going to do factoring by grouping. See if that works. So take out the greatest common factor, which is x squared. You get x minus 2. What about over here? Negative 9. So what do you get? X minus 2. So we got x minus 2, x minus 2. Take out x minus 2, and you end up with x squared minus 9. However, we're not done yet because we could still factor x squared minus 9. Now notice the key is factoring completely. So you got to factor until you cannot factor. So you get x minus 2. X squared minus 9 is a difference of squares. So you get x plus 3 and x minus 3. What about 625x to the 8 minus 256? Well, if you notice, if you look at this carefully, this is a difference of squares. And this is what I mean. We could rewrite this as 25x to the 4 quantity squared minus 16 squared. So your A is 25x to the 4, your B is 16. So you end up getting 25x to the 4 plus 16 times 25x to the 4 minus 16. Now this is a sum of squares, so you cannot factor it. However, this is still the difference of squares, so we could go further. So when you factor this out, you will get 5x squared plus 4, then 5x squared minus 4. And that's it. We cannot factor this anymore. Let's take a look at our last example. We got 2x to the 13 plus 10x to the 9 plus 8x to the 5th. So GCF will be 2x to the 5th. You'll get x to the 8 plus 5x to the 4 plus 4. Now, if you look at it carefully, right, you might say, oh, this is not factorable. However, let's think about this. How about when you have y squared plus 5y plus 4? Is this factorable? Well, it's going to be y plus 4 times y plus 1, right? Now notice, we could still factor this out because we could change it to x to the 4. Because x to the 4 times x to the 4 is x to the 8. Now what are the factors of 4? When you add them up, you get 5. That's positive 1 and positive 4. Now, let's double check if we get the middle term here. Well, 1 times x to the 4 is 1x to the 4. X to the 4 times 4 is 4x to the 4. So when you add them up, you do get 5x to the 4. So this was factorable. And that's your final answer.